minutes. The Arsenal I knew before like considered they go because they didn't manage the game. The game management was really very poor. It was just not good enough. And I'm sure Arteta will watch that game today and talk to these players and let them understand that that's not the way to go going forward. I don't want to talk about Benitez. I don't want to talk about Lucares or Saka, who had a very poor game by his own standards. But I want to talk about Zubimendi again. Zubimendi has become the architect of Arsenal.
Watch Friendship TV right now.
Transit Sports TV back again. Another 3 points. What a weekend. 2 weekends now. Arsenal have capitalized. This is something new. If you're an Arsenal fan, if you are not an Arsenal fan out there, honestly, I'm sure you are very, very worried. You're not just worried that Arsenal is on top of the league. You are worried that Arsenal are taking care of businesses they have failed to take care of in a very long time. Teams that have become bogey teams to Arsenal, teams that have denied Arsenal some very important points in their quest to try to win the league under Mikel Arteta. Arsenal has taken business of these things, going away to win at Newcastle, winning West Ham, and Crystal Palace has followed suit as well. They also beat, which team was that? I think it was Aston Villa. And not just winning their games, that other teams are also doing them favor, helping them win games against their big rival. Talking about Manchester City, who just lost to Aston Villa today, and Liverpool, of course, whose debacle this season so far is well documented. And if you look around you, when you begin to see Bournemouth 4 points off of Arsenal on top of the league, Sunderland 5 points off of Arsenal on top of the league, you begin to wonder where Liverpool, Manchester City, and of course Manchester United as well are fifth on the log ahead of Liverpool. You look around and what are you going to say? That it looks like finally that year has come for Arsenal. But again, just 9 games into the season. Like I tell my friend Ugum, this league, I take it in block of 10 games. If you can play any 10 games and win 7 out of those 10, you are going to be in the mix. Now Arsenal has played 9. They've won 6. No, they've won 7, drawn 1, and lost 1. So they have already met the target that I set for any team that wants to win the league. Every block of 10 games, try to put together 7 wins. If you do that, there is every chance that your rivals cannot repeat the same, because in between that time, you probably would have beaten one of those or drawn. So, and this is what is going on this season so far. Arsenal has played 9 games. They are top of the league with 22 points, possible 27 points. So they dropped 5 points. Like I said, they lost 1 and drew 1, lost 3 points and dropped 2 points in the other one. So it's looking good for Arsenal. Let's look at this game. I don't really want to talk too much about tactics, but again, we'll have to look at it as well, because he has become a fulcrum of the way Arsenal plays, and at the same time, playing against Crystal Palace, who we know this season. In fact, in their last 36 games, they've only lost just 3. So that tells you there was going to always be a very serious game for Arsenal today. And Arsenal somehow, that the way they have been doing, managed to take care of business. And let's talk about this issue of boring. Watching the game today, you can understand why opponents say it's boring. But to me, being an Arsenal fan, I don't think it's boring because of how teams approach games against Arsenal. And I think Arsenal are beginning to master the act of bringing teams out, because you can see they no longer really camp teams in their half. They try to draw them out. So it was a lot of passes between Gabriel and Saliba. Then, of course, during Timber, who for me probably will be the man of the match, because if not for the fact that they scored the only goal that won this game. I also had one of his best performances under an Arsenal jersey today. So he kept, that the Arsenal had a lot of possession in the first half, but couldn't really create much with it. So yeah, when they say it's boring, you can understand it, but at the same time, it's not really Arsenal fault because teams are not opening up to play against Arsenal anymore. So they have to keep the ball. They're not going to just pass the ball to the opponent for the sake of entertaining the fans. So yeah, I saw that today. And again, set piece again, set piece again, set piece again. And teams will not stop conceding set pieces to Arsenal, and Arsenal will keep scoring these set pieces. Emirates is lashing on to the first Joe. I think it was won by Gabriel again today, and Emirates took that chance, and that was the only goal of the season, of the game. And today, at the third game running, Arsenal almost ran away with 3 games with no shot on their goal. That is the problem. They are not even conceding shots on goal. But the Crystal Palace managed to monster one today, and that one was even a long range. I wouldn't even consider that as a shot on target. I thought it was supposed to be like a cross, but somehow he met Raya, and he can count down as a shot on target. And this is a problem that rival fans are having. It's not that Arsenal are winning games on top of the league. It's that teams are not even figuring out how to hurt Arsenal. They concede corner kicks, they defend them very well. They concede corner kicks on the other end of the pitch, they score them. You open up to play against Arsenal, Arsenal will hurt you. Then you sit on low blocks, they win corner kicks and free kicks, and they still score you goals. So you're beginning to. The problem is, how do you really hurt this team, Arsenal? The Arsenal, you get one of the players get injured. You think, okay, Gabriel or Saliba is out. Now we're going to have our chance. They bring in Mosquera, and it looks exactly like the same. Then Califiero gets tired. You bring in Hincapié. He even looks more aggressive. So it's becoming a big problem. Then you look on their bench, you don't even have Noni Madeke, neither do you have Kai Havertz or Gabriel Jesus. Martin Odegaard has not even played the last 3 games. So you're now wondering what the issue is, how you're going to hurt this team, they're going to lose team. If this continues, and it's not just, like I said, and this is how you win league, it's not just by winning your games, it's by your arch rivals not winning their own games. And today, the only negative I have in this game today is that Arsenal did not manage the game very well. They played into Crystal Palace's hands. The game was up in the air. Arsenal was doing a lot of their game management today was very, very poor, very, very poor. But because they were strong defensively and determined as well, the Crystal Palace did not manage to manufacture anything from it. But if you on a very good day, the way that game ended in the last 15 minutes, the Arsenal I knew before like considered a goal because they didn't manage the game. The game management was really very poor. It was just not good enough. And I'm sure Arteta will watch that game today and talk to these players and let them understand that that's not the way to go going forward. I don't want to talk about Benitez. I don't want to talk about Lukares or Saka, who had a very poor game by his own standards. But I want to talk about Zubimendi again. Zubimendi has become the architect of Arsenal game. I was watching that game and I'm wondering if he's not in Arsenal, if he's not fit, like next Champions League is going to miss because of yellow cards. How will Arsenal play? And it's very interesting to watch to figure out how Arsenal are going to play without Zubimendi. Because, and this taking me back to the game of Liverpool, and this is what Liverpool does not have. Zubimendi is ever central. He's in the middle of everything that happens. He creates those triangles both backwards and forward. The middle of the park for Magalhaes and Saliba, going forward for the Declan Rice and the Emirates. So everything transmits through him, and he's so intelligent on the ball. Even in the process of making mistakes, he turns it into something positive for the team. So this is one player that is, if you're looking at the Arsenal team, you say they have options all over the place. I think Zubimendi is one player that it's going to be interesting to figure out who is going to be his backup, playing exactly the same way he's played. But trust Mikel Arteta, I'm sure he's going to find a way to play without him. So let me know what you think. Arsenal is on top of the league, 4 points ahead of Bournemouth, 5 points ahead of Sunderland, and I think 7 points ahead of Manchester City. Liverpool, we don't want to talk about their business today. The gang will be on show later to talk about the entire weekend. Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 0 on top of the league. Arsenal on top of the league. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I will see you again next time.